can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Well, welcome to You Cannot Be Serious with Dick the Muff Man and Ivan over here.
G'day.
Morning, Sam. How are you?
Now, I don't know, we have a lot of people listen to this podcast, and which is good.
How many?
I don't know, it's easily quantifiable. You can look it up. The social media platforms tell you exactly how many listen and have listened. And I have do segments on this show where we chat about things that tick us off. I do that with you two, and I do it with Wayne Carey. True. And then I interview different people about different things. I've interviewed on this podcast criminals, bank robbers, murderers, domestic violence individuals, mafia figures who have killed people, porn stars, drug cheats, gangbangers. So I thought I interview people who are people of interest. And I interviewed two people I thought were of interest because I'd never heard of them until the media kept showing them coming out of court, putting them in the paper. So that's what got my attention. So I thought, well, I reached out to one of them. I reached out to a bloke called Thomas Sewell, and I said, would you like to come in and be interviewed? He said he would. I sought him out. So
you did the interview yesterday?
No, a man accompanied him. Called Blair Cottrell.
Yep.
Who wasn't invited. He was an interloper. He sat where you are, Ivan, and he turned out to be a turd. He turned out to be a opportunist. He thought, and he posted today, he posted that maybe the Foss was one of us all along or something like that. I think that's what he said. Blair is a scumbag. He's a 24-carat gold scumbag. As I said, he wasn't invited, and he thought he is a staff fucker. He thought he'll link me to his cause, and he's posted pictures of me on the footy show and then war Nazi marches in the background claiming, trying to link me to his cause. Thomas Sewell was he was responsible, as in just was here because I asked him to be here. Cottrell turned up, and in his pissy little world that he lives in, his diminutive pissy little world where he can't make it on his own, he tries to link people with stronger juices so that he's a parasite. So that's him. I have plenty of people who are friends of mine who are Jewish. I have plenty of friends of mine. I don't have plenty of Jewish friends. But I have Jewish friends, and I have Muslim friends, many of them. I do not have any friends who are Nazis or neo-Nazis, none. So on the basis of that, after I interviewed those two people, Cottrell then posted a picture of me standing in front of the sign here, which I do on all the people I've interviewed. If they're in the studio, I stand in, and he said, yes, he's just had a chat to me, and so then the Herald Sun ring me up, and I'll give some credit to this person. She texted me, and in case you don't know, if the media ever contact me, I always get back to them. I do.
Polite.
That's the way. I don't know if I'm polite, but I just like to know. So, Brooke Grebbett Craig. Brooke, presume that's a woman. She texted me and said, I'll just find out where she is here.
It'd start, hello, Sam.
Oh, hang on a minute. Refer to, where is it?
Interesting that
Hang
the
on,
journos
text.
can get the
Why can't I find this? Ah, here
info.
she is. So she says, this is what she texted me after she saw, what's his name? Cottrell's post on X. And that started the ball rolling. She said, "Hi Sam, I'm a journalist at the Herald Sun. I'm just reaching out for comment on Blair Cottrell posted a photo of you on X, Thomas Sewell and himself, the three of us. It looks as though they will appear on your podcast. When does the episode plan to go to air? What do they talk about? And do you think it's appropriate they appear as they are known neo-Nazis? Thanks, Brooke." So I got back to Brooke, and in fairness, the only thing she left out, I replied, and she put this in the paper. I said, "Are you or anyone else not intrigued by Australian citizens conceding they are neo-Nazis?" with a question mark. She didn't put that in the statement that appeared in the Herald Sun, but that's fair enough. But she put all the rest in, and I said, "Sure, I can ignore them, but interviewing them is not an endorsement of their mantra. As for having my picture appear on X, I always do a promo video of subjects I interview, so cannot stop people from their vicarious motives, that is, living their infamy through people who are relatively famous or in the public eye. I have interviewed many controversial figures on You Cannot Be Serious, but notice have not been questioned why previously. In all circumstances, this is not guilt by association. Maybe you could wait until the interview is posted, then come back." So she, in fairness, put that in the paper. So then it started. So here we go. So then it started. Let me just read this out to you. The head of the Anti-Defamation Commission, Dr. Aviva Abramovich.
Yep.
He got onto me and said, why was I giving the pair a platform? Let me just get what Mr. Abramovich said. Connected, he said the pair giving a platform was an absolute moral collapse. This is about me. Sam Newman has now plunged into the depths of disgrace, rolling out the red carpet for these men. These two men have been accused of the faces of hatred, and Sam Newman has just handed them legitimacy on a silver platter. By giving them a platform, Newman has spat in the face of Holocaust survivors, trampled on the legacy of the courageous diggers who died to Mr. Abramovich. Seriously, now here's an invitation to you, Mr. Abramovich. I'd love you to come in here and sit opposite me and say what you have said on that. Say that to my face. And if you've got the courage to do that, or maybe you're a coward, if you can take anything what you said there as legitimate comment about me interviewing two people of interest that the Herald Sun and the media keep putting on the front page of their paper. The Herald Sun say I shouldn't speak to two people of interest who are neo-Nazis, and yet they put a picture of me and the two neo-Nazis on page 3 of the paper today and put the Nazi salute on the paper. You can't make this stuff up. And the 1 minute they say they draw attention, but I think Zeb Costello had a confrontation with Sewell. And how did I see that? Because they put it on the news. There they are. I didn't know that they were having a confrontation till I saw it on the news. And so then Costello, because unfortunately the hacks, I'm not talking about necessarily Zeb, but the hacks in the media have no idea how to interview people. I'm one of the best interviewers in the business. I'll tell you that now, because I listen to what people say and I don't get washed over by their bullshit. If you could listen to the interview I did with those two blokes, or that one bloke and the interloper, if you can say that I'm on their side, or Sue Stanley here, who records all this and puts it up. She's now accused of going out with a Nazi. She's saying, what do you... it's extraordinary. I interviewed these people because the paper, the media, make them people of interest. And I thought, well, I'll interview two people of interest. And if you listen to the doctor... So the other bloke, another man...
I think the media are sore.
Hang on.
Maybe
Yeah,
Herald
they're-
Sun is sore. They didn't get in first.
Because...
Of course.
because
Sam got in
That's what
first.
No,
probably
I-
is.
You're right.
no,
You're
but
right, Adam.
they have every opportunity, the media, to ring up, like I did. I rang up Thomas Sewell. I said, mate, would you like to come in and I'll have a chat to you about what you're on about? He said, yes. He was... The media could do that, but they shy away from it because they think if you interview someone who says they're a Nazi or they are... My first question... If you listen to it, I think was, are you a admirer of Hitler? And he said, I am. I said, I probably should stop this interview now. But what is the point of that? I reckon there's a bloke who did a show called Given Enough Rope. That was Andrew Dent.
Andrew Dent, yeah.
I thought I'll let them go. They'll eventually say things that people will disagree with. I disagree with it, but at least let them say what it is, or what's the point of... So, the Herald Sun, God love them. God, the media keep carping about why I'm interviewing disgraceful figures, and yet they keep putting them in the paper, they keep filming them, they keep putting them on the news. It's the Herald Sun who say you shouldn't objectify women, and the first hot day that comes, they go down the beach and take photographs of young girls in bikinis. I mean,
Are you saying
they
they're
are
hypocrites?
so hypocritical. And there's so Seb Costello, who rounded these blokes up and had a shouting match at Sewell.
Yeah.
I think Sewell yelled out to him. He said, well, I'll do an interview with you. He said, no, Seb said, go down to the police, let them interview you. Well, what sort of bullshit's that? I have no interest in... I have no affiliate. Why would I have to backpedal and say, oh, I'm not a Nazi sympathiser? And I just thought they're people of interest, and I don't care who I get an opportunity to interview. I will interview anyone that I think is worthy of being interviewed. Not worthy, is a person of interest, and let people make their mind up. The head of the... where is he? The head of the...
defamation?
Not Alan Kazuto, the Zionist... He's the chairman of the Zionist Federation of Australia. He's on about my legacy being destroyed. And because what? Because he said all the diggers and the Holocaust survivors... Did you not hear me? See, people don't listen to the interview.
That's
they just don't listen to the interview.
No, but there's a kind of...
Before, Dickie, I even had, when that Cottrell, that turd, tried to link me to the cause, mate, I tell you what, you are a piece of crud, and you are just deliberately being mischievous. But I can handle it. I actually can handle it. Sounds like I'm protesting too much, but please, you put whatever you like on about me and say I'm a fan of yours and all that. If you listen to the interview, you'll see exactly what I think of you. He said, oh, I didn't realise, seeing as he butted in, he wasn't even invited. He said, oh, I didn't think the interview was going to start like this. I said, oh, didn't you? I said, I don't know what you thought it was going to start like because you weren't invited in the first place. And now he'll be a hero in his own little world. He'll be an Andy Warhol. He'll be famous for 15 minutes of his life. And as for the press, rounding me up about being a Nazi and poor old Sue here having to, having to withstand people say, why are you going out with a Nazi? You got to be. I've put up with this for 30 years. I've done some pretty ordinary things and pretty controversial things. So it's just like water off a duck's back. If you think I'm apologising too much, it's the fact that piece of turd, Cottrell, links me to his cause and saying I was one of those all along. If you can deduce that from the interview that I did, and I hope more controversial figures will come on here and be interviewed by me, and I'm giving a final invitation to Alan Casuto, wherever he is, and Dr. Where is he?
Harvey or something?
What is it, Harvey? What did I say his name was? And what's his name? Come on, what's his name? Doctor.
In the newspaper.
No, I wrote it here. I fucking just wrote it down. Dr. Casuto and shit.
I don't think I've ever seen you as worked up.
Because the people just don't. When Cottrell posted on X.
Abramovich.
No, not Abramovich.
Oh,
the doctor, here he is, Devere. Yeah,
Abramovich.
Yes, Doc, get your ass in here, mate, and tell me what you disagree with me interviewing those people for. And if you don't think I'm on your side or generally the side of society, if you listen to the interview, before when Cottrell posted a picture of me on X, I had been condemned and roundly abused before we'd even posted the interview.
There's a general consensus, though, to deplatform those people in media. In fact, the whole idea of deplatforming people was kind of first invented for people like Blair Cottrell and what's the other chapter?
Thomas Sewell.
They don't want to hear their opinions. So, in a sense, Sam broke a kind of unwritten rule, you know what I mean? And that's why the media, I think, is being a bit hysterical.
Well, they would be a bit wary of the media because in the interview they asked a question, is this edited? And
that's correct.
Yeah, so they expected it to be cut together.
So Cottrell said, I don't like doing live interviews. I said, don't you? Not bad for someone who just inserted himself in the conversation. I said, well, what do you think? We're going to chop it up and make it sound... so we don't do
make
that.
It sound
We've
anyway.
never edited an interview, I said, except for a couple of things someone has said about some individuals which would get us liable, would be defamed or would be libelous. So we don't edit anything we do. It goes, what you say is, he said, all right, well, I'll take your word for it. I said, you don't have to take my word for it, mate. I don't give a fuck what you do. That's how we do it. We're not making special clause or conditions for you. That's how we do our things. And I hope next week, I have several interviews in the pipeline. I try and do them in advance when people are ready. I don't do them necessarily on the spot here. I'll come in any day of the week, any time of the day to do them. I don't need you two there. I don't need anyone there. As it turns out, Wayne Carey is not here. I'm going to speak to him tomorrow. This will be part of the podcast. I might put this on separately today, but I deliberately don't want Wayne Carey to be here. I don't want him to get involved in this. I speak to Wayne about a whole lot of other things which are very entertaining, but this is part of my interviewing process. Now, I've gone on long enough about this. As I say, I have no friends and do not wish to have any friends who are white supremacists, neo-Nazis, fans of Hitler's. I have several friends who are Muslims. I have several friends who are Jews or of the Jewish fraternity. And I have friends I make easily. So
I think we all do.
Well, I'm not sure about you two, so as I say, so that's it. I hope people will listen to this, because if they don't, when you came in, Dickie, you said, have the media been onto you? I said, about what? They said, to give your opinion about, give my opinion about what? I don't have an opinion. I was asking two people who are in the public eye, who
Questions.
Most people think their push is abhorrent and is antisocial and is not within the spirit of how we live, but they had a story to tell, and I listened. Someone said, you gave them too much time. I started to, and Thomas Sewell said, just let me finish. I said, mate, you go right ahead. I will sit here. If you want to speak for 20 minutes, you go right ahead. And in the end, you give, as I say, if you let people keep going, they run out of things to say. Thomas Sewell was respectful. I don't respect what he said, but I respect the fact that he was respectful.
Yep.
The other bloke was here just to push his own barrow, and he was, as I say, and he should be ashamed of himself just for trying to take this in a direction it was never meant. It wasn't meant to be. It was just that is dishonest to push it in that direction.
Have you seen most of the comments online? Most of the comments.
I'm not interested in the comments, Dickie. I'm not interested in the comments.
Well, many of them are in support of it.
I did a thing on Sky News about welcome to country. A couple of days said there was thousands of. I'm not interested in what people think of me, what they say about me, whether it be good or bad. I am who I am, and I know my integrity and my morals. If you think this is immoral and it's not lacking in integrity to speak to those two people, well, so be it. If you want to brand me as a Nazi, so be it. But I will interview, if they're available, anyone in the public arena who the press keep putting up. Fancy the Herald Sun. Put the two people they say shouldn't be identified, shouldn't give them coverage, showed the Nazi salute, did it then. Showed the Nazi salute. And
it sells papers.
It is
it sells papers.
So I will just cut
works.
young Brooke. I don't know how old she is. I don't know if it's a woman. She did. She texted me and I responded.
Yep.
Unlike the people who always go me when there's something controversial, like Fiona Byrne and Tony Jones, and when you ask them for a comment, oh no, they're not available. They make some bullshit excuse why they can't come on. I will always return the press's call, and if I walked out here and there's 50 people standing out here with a camera, I would speak to them all. I have nothing to hide. I am not ashamed of what I do. I might have done some doubtful things in the past, but that's nothing to do with this. So that's that. So unfortunately, well, I hope a lot of people will hear this. I've done it for 20 minutes now, and as I say, thou protesteth too much, but fair dinkum if you could stop the bullshit. And Dr. V.R.L. Abramovich, have a listen to what the interview was about, mate. You might learn something instead of just trotting out the same old tired line about, did you think that I said the Holocaust wasn't real? Did you hear me say, you got to be joking? Did you hear?
See, the problem is people don't listen.
Mr. Sewell said... He said, I'm a fan of Hitler's. I said, what about the Holocaust? He said, well, that aside. I said, are you serious? You cannot be serious.
You can't be serious.
So anyhow,
that's the name of the show, Sam.
I got on well with Mr. Sewell. If you can say you got on well with a neo-Nazi, he came in at my invitation. He didn't seek me out. I asked him. He came in and he brought the other dribbler with him who just was out to make a name for himself, can't do it on his own, clings round the stems of stronger plants, imbibing their juices. That's how he survives. So he is a turd.
I think what's more interesting, there should be a question, why do they exist? And why are people drawn to them? Like, I don't think they're quite right.
Ivan, if you listen to the interview, they have a philosophy where they want to live in a white country with white people. Do we adhere to that, Ivan?
No, I think
of course you don't fucking adhere to it.
No, we don't, because it's better with a multicultural.
I mean, there are different people across the spectrum that have all kinds of radical beliefs. You could have had a Muslim radical on who spoke about, destroying Israel or whatever. And, I mean, there was the media in the 80s and 90s that I grew up with was you could speak to anybody, right? But for whatever reason in the last 25 years, there's been a move towards deplatforming people. And it started with radicals like neo-Nazis, but then it became for example, The Age is not reported on this. You'll notice that because they have a general attitude of deplatforming Sam.
Okay.
Yes.
There was a question there.
Dickie, the more we go on discussing it, the more we're giving credence.
All right, well, let's move on.
So absolutely.
There was a question, I'd say maybe Thomas Sewell asked, and he said, was it better to grow up in the 1960s
yes.
or the... And my answer would have been, maybe the 1960s, because you were probably about 20 years old.
Yeah, and none of those people were around in the 60s. I said, I was around in the 60s. He said, well, was it better? I said, I'm not saying that. I was just around in the 60s. It was a completely different mix, a completely different race. It was a completely different country. Mm-hmm. So whether you think it was better or not, that's in the eye of the beholder.
Other news.
So I'm just going to say again,
Yes.
for God's sake, don't link any of this. Poor old Sue has taken a nice belting. Here's a person that comes in, friend of mine, a good friend of mine, comes in here and does this at my request, and suddenly she's bloody tarred with the... For what? This is just dopey, stupid people who are irrelevant and insignificant trying to make some capital out of belting me. I've been belted for most of my life in the media, but don't belt her. She's got nothing to do with this. She just turns the camera on and off. I mean, seriously.
We wouldn't have a program if she wasn't here.
Well, fuck me. It's
None of it would get recorded.
Just extraordinary.
Yeah.
But she's big enough. Well, she's big enough, not in stature, but she's big enough mentally and capable of handling herself. But why would she have to? Anyhow, so...
Do we have another topic?
Yeah, I tell you what, if you just kept an eye on how the state government are going, I just hear $32 billion, the tunnel project. No one's got any money. They can't finish it. They're employing public servants by the thousand at exorbitant salaries.
Which tunnel is this?
The tunnel and the
Northeast Link?
all that stuff. It's
That's not near me.
$32 billion. It's still going, and they can't finish it. We're bankrupt.
We're worse than
They
bankrupt.
just seem to sit there all day. I live near that Northeast Link, and I go past it. It's like they have so much material there. It's like they're building two Tullamarines out there, and they basically just sit there all day doing nothing. This is a job that will be done in 4 years.
Never blame the people who work for you, Dickie. Blame the people who employ you. This is the extraordinarily corrupt, dishonest and incompetent Andrews government, now taken over by the Allen government. They are people, if you want to see how to resurrect a country, I don't give a fuck what people say about this. If you want to see how people to resurrect a country in a month after 8 years of shit in America, Donald Trump has put a cat in amongst every pigeon that is in that joint. The joint is thriving. They cannot, the opposition, the Democrats cannot work out what to criticise him for next. He has gone, in 1 month, he has put the hope of that country
back on track.
He answers every question. He stands there and he sits there and answers every question capably, whether you think it makes any sense or not. I tell you what, he is an absolute brilliant. He is a star, that man.
He's a gem of the tariffs. This tariff, the way he's using tariffs is extraordinary.
Well, what do he just? That's just it's a hook to get people to speak.
Yep, exactly.
He probably has no intention.
It's
of
a
doing
negotiation
it, but they don't
tool.
know that. It is extraordinary.
Well, he announced last night he wants to make a sovereign wealth fund for the US, similar to Australia and Norway.
Yep.
So
do we have one here?
Absolutely, we do. Yeah,
because Norway has one.
Norway has one.
They have one that's more than most.
No, I think that's the way to go. Now he's trying to replicate what we do here in Australia.
In all the excitement, I'd forgotten that I'd asked these gentlemen to come in, and we're very. What? This is Johnny Locko, who's and Dom, who's brought Richard in now. Richard,
do we need another seat?
No, what we need to do is you...
Here we go, I'm getting the flick.
Well, it's only just for a minute, Ivan.
Just for a minute, Ivan.
Just for a minute, or you can get out, Dick, unless you want to keep your fat head on. Come over here, Richard. Richard came in here earlier. Dickie, Ivan, you don't have to go outside the building. You can sit here. You can speak into this microphone.
G'day, mate. How
Richard came in here some time ago, and he's going to swim the Yarra River from start to finish in the name of raising money for what, Richard?
The Alfred Hospital.
Yep.
I'm doing that.
Why are you doing it? Just give us a rundown again, quickly.
The background of me, I was diagnosed last year with emphysema.
Yeah, because you're a smoker?
No, I've never smoked in my life.
There you are.
And siblings, pubs, whatever it is. Siblings were the worst ones. And I'm training with emphysema and doing the event with emphysema.
And what is your prognosis? What are they giving you a time to be on the planet, Richard?
It's incurable. I say 5 years.
And how long are we into that?
We're into 4 out of 5 right now.
Okay, so...
1 into 5, sorry.
Okay,
1 into 5, yep.
Okay, so what do they give you for it? Nothing?
I'm on drugs. I'm nice drugs, which is good.
Yeah.
Good asthma drugs. I inject myself once a month with a super drug, and I get fatigued for 2 days at a time.
So, Richard, your surname?
Payne,
Richard
P-A-Y-N-E.
Yeah, Payne. So, Richard Payne, you are going to enter the Yarra River and swim, or you could probably walk most of it, couldn't you, or what?
That's a good question, Sam. There's three disciplines.
Yeah.
There's swimming, walking, and a bit of rafting.
As long as you're in the water, the Yarra River. Where does it actually commence, the Yarra River? Up in the Gippsland somewhere, or where does it come from?
Technically, the Yarra starts at Mount Baw. There's a trickle all the way to...
You're not going up there, are you?
No.
Well, when are you getting into it?
Reefton.
What?
Reefton, which is 80 k's past Warburton.
Oh, shit. So how long is the trek?
Trek is 200 k's.
So you're going to raft, walk, swim the Yarra River for 200 k's.
Yes.
And when is this happening?
March 15th.
And you are after people to back you with financial remuneration, not for you, but for the charity?
Yes.
And is that, I presume, we're just trying to shore up some charitable donations by you being here? And how, if people want to contribute to the charity, what's it called?
Yarra Adventure Challenge.
Yarra Adventure Challenge.
Yeah.
And it's tax deductible?
Yes.
And they sign up on the website, or they
just look it up.
Tell us about it, Richard. Sounds like I'm pulling teeth here.
Go on, you Sam, you're good.
Go on.
Yeah, Adventure Challenge, Richard Payne. It's a QR code. Just donate that way. It's a simple format.
Yes.
Do that.
For
I need logistics as well. I need people who can help
for
me.
research on emphysema.
Yes, exactly right.
How's the water quality in the...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, really? All the way, or just get worse?
Reefton to Warburton's good.
Yep.
As you get more condensed moving into this city,
Yeah.
the conditions are
I
worse.
tell you what, Richard, I got a boat moored in Yarra's Edge there, just under the, just on the edge of the city.
Yeah.
When you come by me, I don't know when that'll be. I reckon you can walk past me on the river. There's more dead dogs and bikes and tyres and shit in there. So lots of luck if you're swimming by then, mate. I'd put a diver's bell on and swim past me with that.
Do I just knock on the hole on the way through, do I?
Yeah, don't knock too hard, it might break the way the boat's going. Anyhow, so I said I had forgotten that you were coming in. I'm glad you've come in. Again, just say what you want to say again. You want people...
I know logistics and finance. Logistics, the Yarras are... I need people who can give me food and water as I travel, right?
What?
Food. I need food. I need...
What, haven't you got a support crew?
I haven't got enough. I haven't got enough. Because the Yarra is difficult to get to because the bushland, there's no tracks.
So there's no one going to walk or swim beside you?
No. Not in the kayakers want to do it.
Well, you're going to have to plan where you can just
That's
get onto the river bank.
I'm after someone who's got a dirt bike who can track me with a GPS.
I see.
So, or a bloody helicopter, someone drop
Well, why
food
didn't you
down to me.
mention that? Well, that'd be the main reason you're here.
Exactly
Does anyone
right.
like to sponsor Richard Payne, who's doing a charity walk, run, raft on the Yarra River for emphysema study?
Yes.
Would anyone like to donate or be part of the support team on a dirt bike?
Yeah.
Hey?
Dirt bike would
What
be
else?
wonderful because they can get in a place.
How long will it take you?
Maximum 10 days. If I get
Where are you going to sleep?
on the bank.
On the bank, so we need a tent maybe.
We need a
Or a
tent.
sleeping bag.
Yeah,
When are we going to mention all that?
Yeah, I'm trying to get there, Sam. You're interrupting me, Sam. You're interrupting me.
Go ahead. Go on.
Yeah, the logistics. I need logistics people on the banks. I need someone, preferably a dirt bike, because they can get to me. Someone to help people feed me. I need fresh water, so I can't drink the Yarra. I need fresh water all the time. I've got to wear a wetsuit the whole time because the toxins of the EPA report are telling me it's not very healthy. But I'm wearing a full face mask as a goggle and a snorkel.
All right, hang on, let's just get this let's write this down, Richard. You want a wetsuit. You want some goggles.
Yep.
You want a sleeping bag.
Yep.
You want a tent.
Yep.
You want a dirt bike.
Yep.
You want a raft.
Yes.
You want people to help you.
Helicopter.
You want fresh water.
Yes.
Do you want a micro ambulance following you?
Someone with
A medical degree.
not quite a medical degree, but there are
First
a lot
aid.
of snags out there. There's 3 types of poisonous creatures: brown, copperhead, and platypuses. They're all poisonous.
Platypus is poisonous.
Yeah, they're poison.
Are
Their
they?
hind legs give off poison.
A platypus gives hind legs, does it?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Well, holy shit! So you just didn't come in here to say that you're doing it. You
I need help. I need help.
You need help.
A raft.
I've got my anxiety around it because I do need help, and the
Yes.
people who've got the help,
All right.
not enough.
So Richard, so that people can contact you if they think they'd like to donate any of these things or help you out. They get on the website, on the whatever you said then,
QR
Richard
code.
Payne.
But if you can take my mobile number, ring
Ah.
me. That would be good.
You
Just
sure
simply-
you want to give the mobile number out?
Yeah,
You'll have a
yeah.
whole lot of dickheads ringing you up and abusing you, mate, if it's anything like my mobile number. But go on then, we'll read it out.
0412
041, it's like 041 0412.
1234
Really?
Easy to
What a
remember.
very good number, Richard.
One
hang
five.
on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even
Four.
I can remember that, yeah.
15.
Oh, geez, wouldn't it be good if it was 5, 6?
Six.
So it's 0412. So 0412 123415.
Yes.
Well, if you can, I can even remember that number without writing it down. 0412 123415. If you can help Richard in any way to get through the 200-mile trek on water, raft or walking the Yarra River for the charity of emphysema study, ring that number and don't abuse him and don't be hoax calls and do all that. If you're genuine, ring him up and see if you can help him. Anything else?
Yes.
Yeah, there is more.
Yes. March
shit.
9th.
Oh, March
I'm
9th.
the number one birdman for the Moomba Rally.
Well, I'd put the swim on hold until you can until you can survive that. If you crash off the top of the tower and
Into the Yarra.
into the Yarra and brain yourself.
There's two divisions in birdman. There's a flop or the fly.
Yeah, if you got what are you flying in?
I'm flying. I'm building a
Wings
craft now.
You're building a craft.
I'm building a craft.
Oh fuck me! What sort of craft, Dick?
It's just a PVC piping, 8 metres wide, 3 metres long, and I've got parachute material into it. So the outfit gets $50,000 in charity funds if I break the record of 15.1 metres.
You idiot! Holy mackerel, Dick! Oh, it's just, shit. All right, well, there's 15 metres.
It's an ogre's foot. I need a wind draft for 1 second.
Have you considered
That's 45 feet,
Yeah.
isn't it? Six? How many? What? You've said that, have you, John? John Locko says that's how many feet?
48 approximately.
Say 50 feet approximately.
Yeah.
So how high is the tower? If you get a good run up, you can jump out about 25 of them.
35 feet, the tower.
You're going to jump off a 35-foot tower
Yeah.
with some PVC piping and some parachute.
Exactly right, exactly
You are a
right.
complete fucking idiot, Richard. Holy mackerel. I might come down just to watch that. All right, well...
Well, watch it on TV, mate. 11:30, Channel 10, mate.
Channel 10, all right.
Have the ambulance standing by.
You know,
All
the underwater police are there.
Ah, nice.
All right, well, that's it. Is that all?
Thank you, Sam.
All right, thank you very much. Richard Payne, Daredevil,
2 dicks.
Aviator.
Better than one.
Aviator, yeah, 2 dicks are better than one. I know a man that had 5 dicks. His pants fitted him like a glove.
Like a glove, mate.
All right, thank you.
Come on, Ivan, get back here.
Quickly, Ivan.
Come on.
Righto, we've just done
What a world, mate.
We've done the Victorian
Fallout
government
show.
completely. See you, Johnny. See you,
Dom.
See you, Dom. Good on you, mate. Right, Richard. There we are. What else? Did you
Yeah,
have
you've
anything?
jumped off a high tower, haven't you?
I have. I've dived off the 10-metre board at MSAC. I've bungee jumped off St Nevis in the river in
South Africa?
no
Is it?
in I've jumped off the Zambezi bridge into the Zambezi River, and I did that at St Nevis in New Zealand. But that's a bit different when you've got a twine
metre.
wrapped around your leg. That's a bit different from jumping out of a plane. Anything else? Or you've got anything?
Well, should we get maybe a radical Marxist on the show sometime, Sam? In a couple of weeks?
Dick,
That's a joke, mate.
I know, but
Yeah, but the headline will be the headline.
He interviews Che Guevara.
no, I'd like to interview Dr. Devere
Abramovich. Yeah, well, sure. Give him equal time.
I'd like to know exactly why he would say those things about me. But he's entitled to say whatever he likes about me. I'm sure he won't get hold of me, but it doesn't matter. All right, now that's it. Finally, anything else, Dick? Come on.
Oh, well,
don't mention anything about fucking the Marxists or anyone else, or else I'll cut you off. Go on. What?
Well, we've got they're doing the thing in America where they're, the appointments of Donald Trump, like RFK, they're giving them the drill.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And RFK, they don't want him because, he's a bit, I wouldn't say he's anti-vax, but he's at least more interested in vaccine safety.
He wants to see how they develop them and are they real, as opposed to being immune from prosecution just in case they fail.
Exactly.
And he's
And
cancelled
Elizabeth
Red
Warren-
Cordial.
Hang on. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders were attacking him kind of pretty ruthlessly.
I saw
and
this.
then RFK pointed out that Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders who's
Take
gone away
money from Big Pharma.
huge amounts of money, millions and millions and millions of
Why
dollars.
would anyone take any notice of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, who are nothing more than charlatans? They're got their snout in the trough. They contribute nothing. All they do is live a cushy lifestyle on the public purse. They contribute nothing, and that is why Trump got into become the president, because he actually does something. Could I tell you this? Two planes. Listen to this. Two planes in a space of 2 days have crashed in America.
What's that about?
So one of them, 65 people were killed because a Black Hawk helicopter, whatever, it crashed into it. And then another one, a medevac plane, it killed 6 or 7 people. They haven't found if anyone have been killed on the ground yet. I watched for 2 days the coverage of the Americans. The Americans are completely fucked. They are. I watched Fox, MSNBC,
Al Jazeera.
CNN. No, not Al Jazeera. Couldn't give a fuck about it. You want to hear the crap they kept getting experts who said it's too early to tell. We have to wait for the information. They said. They asked it. They went on for 2 days talking about bullshit.
Yeah.
It was. And you
I
think,
heard it's DEI related, diversity, equity, and inclusion related.
Every single, when 24/7, I thought they could not ask another question that no one can answer, but they kept asking them, every one of them, with the cow eyes. Look, we know it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy, and the more you talk about it, it doesn't make it any better. No one could give any firm information about what happened or why, and they kept going on and on and on. And surely they got
They were
better
trying to
things
draw
to do.
lines between the first crash and the second crash, and
There'd be two,
waiting.
right?
There was 2, but it looks like it was just very, very unfortunate circumstances, standalone issues, both of them.
Yes,
But they're trying to draw comparisons, and are we going to have a third one?
Well, one was a female pilot, apparently, and she had mental health issues, apparently, they say.
But
And that she was trying to get other
who
planes.
says that?
Well, I've read in the media, like Fox or Sky, one of those channels was talking about it. Yeah, that's all I've heard about it, that it could be diversity, equity, inclusion related.
Yes.
The other one I don't know anything about.
No,
That was
so
in Philadelphia.
Trump was asked, see, this is how they're dishonest. Trump was asked, someone said, do you think it was DEI related? And he said, it could be.
There you go.
He said, it could be. Well, it could be anything.
It could be anything,
If they'd
though.
said, do you think it's pilot error? And they said, he would have said, it could be.
Yeah.
Do you think the engine blew up? It could have. As soon as he said it could be, they jumped
run
on him
with
and
that.
said, "Oh, he's." They are. This is a bit like what's going on here with
Exactly.
this. This is a bit like going on with here with the
Totally
Herald Sun,
unfair.
saying, "Oh, why am I interviewing these?" It's just they make it up. They're disgrace.
make
Now
it up.
we've done this long enough. Now I've had
All right.
enough. I've had enough.
Hang up
You
your
had
boots, mate.
had a good kicking.
Well, you said that at the start of the show, I'm going to get a kicking for this.
Wrong. Yeah, because
no. You weren't
that's
wrong.
right, because people are not objective enough to sit down and ask people with absolutely radical, abhorrent views about society just what they're on about, and I think, suddenly speaking to them, you're one of them,
just ask.
opposed to that fucking
ask.
piece of turd.
We'll just ask how long the
who
interview went
just
for.
came in here to use this forum and me to try and push his own barrow. And you are a piece of crud, mate. And that's it.